Imagine standing in front of a massive concrete power plant in the middle of Berlin. It's 4 in the morning, the air is freezing, and you've been waiting in line for 3 hours just for a man with tattoos on his face to look at you and say, "No, this is Berghain." But why did the biggest pop star in the world, Rosalia, decide to name one of her most experimental tracks after a techno club that represents the absolute opposite of the mainstream? If you saw my last video on the 18.9 Hz frequency, you know that sound isn't just something we hear. It's something that hacks our biology. And Rosalia knows this. When you hit play on Berghain, you aren't just listening to a song. You're stepping into a psychological experiment designed to mimic the architecture of fear and euphoria. Most people think this track is just a weird interlude on Motomami, but the production hides a terrifying secret. The low-end frequencies used here are specifically tuned to recreate the industrial resonance of the original club. In the real Berghain, the concrete walls are so thick and the space so vast that the bass doesn't just vibrate your ears. It vibrates your internal organs. Rosalia emulates this by using sub-bass layers that feel heavy, almost suffocating, creating a sense of sonic claustrophobia before the vocal kicks in. But then, there's that German mantra. Seine Angst ist meine Angst. Sein Blut ist mein Blut. His fear is my fear. This isn't just a edgy lyric. In the world of underground techno, there is a concept called collective effervescence. It's a psychological state where the individual ego dies and you become part of the mass. By chanting about sharing blood and fear, Rosalia is describing the exact moment a raver loses themselves on a 48-hour dance floor. It's a ritual of ego-dissolution. Speaking of rituals, did you notice the voice at the very end? That's Björk, having the queen of avant-garde electronics on a track named after the temple of techno is like a coronation. They are using a technique called hauntology, using sounds that feel like ghosts of the past to represent a future that never happened. The contrast between the London Symphony Orchestra, yes, a full live orchestra, is hidden in this electronic track. And the distorted industrial glitches creates a friction in your brain. Your mind is trying to process beauty and chaos at the exact same time. This is why the song feels so uncomfortable, yet addictive. And then we have the visuals. Why is there a deer crying black blood? In Jungian psychology, black blood represents the Nigredo phase, the absolute darkness of the soul before it can be purified. This connects perfectly to the Sven Marquardt effect. The bouncer at Berghain acts as a modern-day Anubis, deciding who is worthy to enter the underworld. For Rosalia, being rejected or accepted by the club isn't about fashion. It's about a spiritual judgment. The video, filmed in the Brutalist landscapes of Poland, captures that concrete coldness that defines the Berlin sound. So next time you listen to it, pay attention to the space between the notes. Feel that pressure in your chest. You're not just listening to a pop star. You're experiencing a high-level piece of sound engineering that bridges the gap between the stadium and the power plant.